Yeah, I come from a rugby background. I'm a builder. I'm a roofer from Essex. Like, just because I've got that on social media, I've done that, I've got this sponsor, doesn't mean I'm not going to give it back. So like,
yeah, boy.
So on a photo shoot on a balcony, it's one of the pictures that shot my social media through.
Really?
Bent over the balcony, just fresh from the show, red trunks on, Vegas street, and it's I'm peeled, and it just went viral for me with that. And
oh, look at that layer in bed.
Jacko Debris. I've always been told, like my granddad is always like, the less you do, the less you want to do. When I was at school now, I was like, oh, I don't want to do travelling.
Yeah.
A lot of my boys are like, I can't wait to leave school, go travel. I was like, I'm never ever doing that. So
I was the same.
Being everywhere. It is mental doing this.
You've been everywhere.
I've been so many places.
Right.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah. What was it at school that made you didn't want to travel?
Just went into the idea of living out of a suitcase, really.
Really? So it wasn't the fact of going to different places. It was just
no. It's like, I'm fairly
comfort.
Yeah, my comfort's definitely like a nice shower, nice bed, and that, and a hotel. I'll do a holiday, but I was never like, oh, I don't want to go to there for like 3 months and there and there. And
yeah.
Not back. Really overly interested in different cultures that much. I wasn't really. But then the more I got into the bodybuilding and stuff, and the more we started doing travelling, and I respected other cultures more and more, the more I learned about them. Usually you get people in the UK, like you'd be in a queue and that, and people be moaning that, and then you go to somewhere like India, and they're so populated, can't really moan, because it's the way it is, whereas you queue in the UK,
yeah,
and, oh, it's so close to me, or yeah, it's like, travel the world, mate, it's totally different.
But that's interesting. It's like, from a young age, you know, with those things, I'm with you, completely agree. But with those things at a young age, you kind of, first of all, you're young, and secondly, you'd have to go and experience it and go, no, I don't like that. So how did you? What was in your mindset to think, right, that's not something I even want to do or get into, because I know that living out of a suitcase is not good or that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how did you know it without?
It was actually doing my things. Like, it's just that whenever we've been on holidays, families, it was always like you're at your hotel, right? Your comfort.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a little bit OCD at home and that as well. Yeah. I'm quite. Things are regimented and things are in place, and which kind of led on to the bodybuilding, like being regimented, and structure, which is nice. But yeah, even though I have travelled the world, I've still been in comfort.
India must have been interesting, because like, what were you there for? An actual show?
Expos, yeah. Okay. So a lot of the bodybuilding stuff, they set up big expos where they're bringing athletes from around the world, so you can meet and greet people and everything.
And that was your first trip away somewhere, because of all the places that you'd have to go to, India, I'd say, is like one of the most...
You wouldn't expect it.
It's just like you either get the completely rich or the very poor, and the divide is mental. And so that must have been like a massive culture shock for you.
The first time we went, they took us there, and they put us in this like 7-star hotel, and it was they treat you like gods. It was ridiculous.
Where in India is this?
Mumbai.
Right.
Like, we've been to like every city there. We done another time, and I hated it, because we was getting on these little planes. We was doing one gig, getting on a little plane, was held together with duct tape, going over to another one.
Wow. Yeah.
But then like the other times have been amazing. But like, you'd walk out of the hotel, you'd go from being in this pure luxury, weighted on hand and foot. You'd walk out of the hotel, cross the street on a curb, people are drinking out puddles and that, and they're begging, and it's a totally different divide.
There's something really interesting about that I don't want to say the world in general, but I've been to a few places like that, and it's almost a little bit surreal. I've been in a really nice hotel in Turkey where you actually don't need to leave because it's so big, and obviously, you know, they keep you there, you're spending money. But the moment I went out and the things I saw were just really, really horrible. I saw like a baby in a bin just sitting there. I saw like a guy, you know, pushing himself on the floor with like no arms or legs on a little trolley, like just crazy stuff.
We got told that in India, a lot of the kids do that. So we got told by a few Indians, it's a thing they do. So they can get money.
Yeah, they get money, and they're making a fair few bob. Do you know what I mean? Like in a day, but it's the struggle's real. You can see, like, you know, like every time I remember when I went as a 16-year-old seeing family out there in north part of India, and we're up at the traffic lights, and there would just be beggars. You know, you get kids that are just, you know, no arms, no legs, and it's just so bad to see.
Like the slums.
I have, yeah. It's
I took us world tour. We wanted to do it.
That's where he's from. He's from.
Yeah,
mate, he's just flown over. We got on a flight.
That's where I came from.
See, look where he's dressed like.
We years we had it. We was out there one year. I think was with I think it's Flex Wheeler was with, he wanted to go.
Nice. Okay.
It was all like, all the people who want to go and experience, it was like, we're over it, we'll all go.
Yeah.
But it is so surreal walking through there, isn't it?
Right.
Walking through and the smell hits you first.
Oh yeah, it's manure to sewage.
Like there's like 80% of what goes through there is all recycled. It's madness.
Yeah.
Like you got them like stripping up cardboard boxes and that's recyclable, that's recyclable. Their recycling generation is unreal.
Yeah.
And like we're walking through, and I kid you not, it is filthy. It's horrible. And it's a shame to see, but it's nice, an eye opener to experience it.
Yeah.
Got around the corner and there was a shop like in the middle of like Chelsea, like what you see in Chelsea, a leather shop. And we was like, is it mental? Yeah, aircon and everything.
It's like it shouldn't even exist. And then, like I said, it's like a surreal moment of stepping outside it. And I think it's really important to actually do it because you know, it makes you appreciate life. It makes you appreciate what you've got. Also, you know, most of those people are nice. You know, it's nice to interact with new people and
It's
culture.
surprising. I find that everywhere I've been, people who have got less are actually more genuine
And more courteous.
and have got more time for you. Actually, yeah. Where you get a lot of, I'm from Essex, so it's pretentious as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of them fuckers ain't got nothing anyway.
We were talking about this before. It's just like portraying an image that you're not really like that in your real life, but you want to hide that side of you.
Whole idea. I mean, I'm so glad that you didn't sort of stick with what you thought when you were a kid, because the whole thing about traveling and going to these different places and experiencing good and not good and bad, but experiencing different cultures, different people. It's actually really intellectual for your brain. Like it really
It's knowledge.
helps you learn things.
It's knowledge and
I think what you find as well is now people are so tuned into social media and now listen to what other people say about places. That's it. They go, oh, right, yeah, I agree with you. You've been? No, but I saw such and such going and he said this, and no, you got to experience it. You got to take it in yourself. And
Yeah. Yes, I completely agree. You mentioned the OCD thing. Do you know what? I want to talk about that because I have a bit of OCD as well. And I think, I'm not speaking to everyone here, but the stereotypical view of a man like yourself, got your shit together, you look good, to have like OCD traits, you kind of, you know, the normal person would associate that with women or with like another type of male. And I sat down with a friend of mine I haven't seen for ages since school. And we just sat down and we were like two little girls talking because he's like, man, I've got so many OCD things. I do this. So I said to him, you know, you're just driving yourself crazy. But I have some OCD traits as well. Certain things have to be in order, notes, and I have notes on my phone and notes in a diary and all this kind of stuff. What do you have?
like coins kill me. Like coins have got to be head up all the time.
Oh, really?
Coins and stuff, and they go in shape and size as well.
Oh yeah, I do the shape. Yeah. I go up in size.
So I do that with I luckily don't carry cash, but if I have any cash, I do that with cash. It has to be the faces has to be and I'll spend ages doing it just to then spend it, which just makes no sense.
And
Just a quick announcement. What would be amazing if you can hit a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Boardman Podcast. We've now synced up everything. So our Facebook is synced to our Instagram, our TikTok's live. We may get Twitter. We'll see how that goes. But what would be amazing if you could please hit a like and subscribe. The bigger the channel gets, the more guests we can have on, and the longer we can continue doing this. So thank you so much, and enjoy.
as time went on, I was like, you should compete. And
How old were you there then?
I was in my 20s.
Right, okay.
Like, and I was like, you should compete. But I'm like, no. Made Jamie at the time work for Men's Health magazine.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, we got a competition coming up for a front cover model. You should do it. And all the boys in the gym were like, you're too big. And I was like, no. Lo and behold, did it. It was televised. And I think it was Kirk Miller who beat me.
Right.
And the guys all said to me, they was like, you're a bit too big. Like, you're looking for like a more average achievable physique. Don't want to wear the thong. I don't want to tan. Don't want to wax. They was like, put you in it. This is the day you're going to do it. They kind of prepped me, guided me.
Wow. So they kind of just literally pushed you into
No choice, man.
Wow.
And so I did this show, was doing bodybuilding poses at a fitness show. Totally the wrong posing, totally the wrong shorts. Didn't have a spray tan. I thought, I'll have a sunbed. I'll be brown enough. It's fine. So I'd have white on stage and I play second.
No way.
I play second. And as the day went on, I was like, I'm really enjoying this. So I did another category. Placed fifth in that one. And I was like, I'm really enjoying it, blah, blah. And there was a guy come up to me at the end, all like tweed suit and everything. And he's like, photographer, I would love to shoot you. Like, you've got a really pleasing physique. Like, you really portray yourself well, blah, blah. I mean, no disrespect. Like, I've been told what it's like in the industry. It's a bit seedy. It's a bit weird. And there's only one guy I'll ever shoot with. Like, I love his work, and that's Giles Crofter. I went, okay, like, I respect that. There's my card. If you change your mind, walking off, turn the card over, Giles Crofter.
No way.
I was like,
Wow.
come here. So,
That's a great story.
Yeah, that's
with
great.
his relationship with him, still with him now. Like, a lot of all of my front cover, part 1, was all his images.
That's
So you must have been doing something right, because if you're not tanned up, you weren't sort of in that sort of skin tone complexion that you see on stage. So you had all the muscles.
I look back at the pictures and I'm like,
what was I doing?
I love the fact you built up, because everyone thinks I did this when I first started the film industry. I was trying to email the executive of Warner Brothers or this and that, and everyone thinks you need to go to the top, but straight away in terms of that. But I love the way that you're kind of, you put yourself put yourself in a gym, which is another really weird experience to have. And Eddie Hall said this, that like being in a gym with a group of men who are nice, but you're competing. That's a wonderful thing. That's a really wonderful thing to have.
Because it's healthy competition.
I think that's kind of lost a bit now. I notice when I'm in the gyms I'm in, and I see like youngsters train, I go, look boys, do it this way, do it that way,
And they take it as a kind of
They
insult.
and I'm like, okay, no worries, but that's my picture up there.
No, you're right. There is something different about that. And even if you look back and you see, the classic Arnolds and all them training at that time, they all look like they're friends and they're having fun. And obviously you've got to go into competition mode and stuff like that. And we have this a bit as well. Like,
That's what it was like back in the day. Like, you're pushing each other and pushing because you want a good competition on stage.
Yeah.
right.
You want to be the best out of the best. Like, you really want to, and you will kill each other in the gym. I think nowadays people want a bit more of an easier run.
Yeah, it's just t-shirt muscles that they.
And I've noticed, like, as the years went on when I was competing, it got very cliquey. As in, like, if you're at that federation or you're sponsored by them, I can't train with you, mate. I can't put a picture up, mate, because my federation won't like it.
Too many politics involved. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of changed things a bit for people. Then everyone become quite selfish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what else has changed? Is it something to do with like the way we're moving as well with social media and different things like that, like being self-centered and that kind of thing? Like, where's that kind of, I call it like a brotherhood maybe? Why is that changed and where's that gone?
Oh, that's definitely died out. Everyone's become really, obviously bodybuilding is selfish. You've got to be quite selfish in a way. But I think what it is now is with social media, it's helped and it hasn't. But you could take a picture and look incredible. And then you see that person in the gym and you go, you turn to the side, you're going to fall for that crack, mate. So they don't want to be seen next to someone who's equally better or better,
Yeah.
because then it will devalue them on their social, on their page.
Yeah. I do feel like the new generation or this generation now just see people that have already accomplished this amazing physique, right? But they don't realize what they've had to go through to get to that physique. Yeah. So they think, okay, I'll do a little bit just to see if I can get as close
enough.
But they don't realize it takes hard graft, it takes discipline, it takes technique and that extra fight, and So I just think, people just don't have the patience, and they want it now, and that I think that's
a massive thing. It's that quick fix. There's that 1% of people. Lee Priest, I love Lee Priest. And his mindset is the stuff he says, and he still says today. I was lucky enough to meet him once in Germany. We was out in Germany,
nice.
And him and Flex were training in this gym. Turned around, I was like, mate, you got to introduce me to him. Like, yeah, chatting to him now. But anyway, he doesn't compete no more.
Right.
Very outspoken in the industry, so they kind of kicked him out of competing. Fucking arms on him. I was just staring at
when they 22s.
They're massive. For someone who doesn't do it no more, I'm just like, wow.
Oh.
Chatting to him, he was great down to a T. Just went away. The mindset of the youth and that is like, that 1% of people that wouldn't take that next level to actually put all the work in and focus is so small.
That's amazing.
Everyone gets to a point, they go, that's enough.
He's pushed.
I've only got to do 45 minutes in the gym. Whereas you look at from the 80s and 90s.
Oh, they were in there 2 hours. 2-3 hours.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Some of them boys that hit the same movement twice a day.
Yeah.
Doing chest in the morning, doing chest in the evening.
Yeah.
We it's so weird because I've been doing quite a bit of research on this and how, like, the attention span of where we're going because of social media and different things. And there's two sides to it. There's the side that, well, first of all, you've got two parts of your brain. There's like a creative side and a sort of habit side, and the habit side dominates it. And people don't realize that to do something new like the gym or to achieve something, you know, the 10,000 hour rule. You've got to do something for 10,000 hours to be good at it. Yeah. And no one really, it's hard to realize that. And even your gym, you look at like when people, the gym is the best example because people want to go back to the gym in January and they do this and that. You've got to be in the gym for 6 months. In your brain, scientifically, you have to be in the gym for 6 months.
Fully zoned in, fully.
Yeah, to even tell your brain and change the pattern in your brain that actually this is becoming a habit now. This is not a exam that you're learning for that you forget the next week. And people don't get to that stage.
I give people drop all the time.
Yeah.
3 weeks in, nothing's changing, nothing's working.
Yeah.
Look at the stitch when you started to now. Yeah. Now double that and then double that again.
Yeah. It's growth.
It's Yeah, you don't wake up one morning and go, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
And obviously I feel quite sorry for the youth these days in that sense because they're growing up where it's flick, 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 flick. Everything's 1 second, 1 second. So their mind is kind of altered to the way we were because now they're just thinking, oh, well, if I can see this video and I can see those results in 15 seconds, then it should only take me a couple of days. Well, actually, no, it still took 2 years or whatever. But on the flip side, if there's any youth now which are able to do that, they're going to be way ahead of everyone else. Because imagine now if you're 17, 18, and you're just like ignoring the social media and you're just like you're grinding away like people used to do.
Mate, yeah, I only got social media now because the boys set out for me.
Yeah,
they was like, you should get Facebook and I'll take pictures of your journey. You should do Instagram.
Yeah,
I am terrible with computers. I hate technology. I hate all that.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I got it because the boys were like, you got to start taking pictures now.
Yeah.
Look at my first ever tweet or Instagram thing. And it's shocking. It's just a quote I've put up.
But it's so important, you know?
I kind of come into it when Instagram started as well.
Right.
So I kind of, that's what we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I'm that era where Instagram just started, it was new. So I was still really focused on what I was actually doing and just putting on a picture, not realising you can monetize from it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas you got a new generation now, it's boom, social media.
You were, if you started Instagram at the right time, then you would have been the perfect sort of candidate because obviously, when Instagram first started, it was people taking pictures of themselves.
I was the guinea pig.
Yeah, you were the guinea pig, exactly. Or it's women in bikinis and stuff. So that would have been great. I mean, you've got 1.6 million followers or something crazy. I mean, it's mental. We've had just
rode the wave at the right time.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. Like a lot of guys when we first started, and we did it. We've all come up through the industry together.
Yeah,
we was giving front covers back then. And that was a big thing back then. That was a huge achievement to get a magazine front cover. A lot of us were working for that.
Right.
You don't get that, man.
Yeah.
You don't get to travel the world. Like we traveled the world, went to India and that.
Yeah.
They were actually meeting us, pictures with us, wanting to talk to us.
It's harder for a man as well to get on the front cover of a magazine because you see, there's not much.
It's all social.
Yeah, it's all social, and there's women that are just people are drawn to because whether it's fashion, culture, whatever it may be. But for a man to get onto a magazine, it's quite difficult, and to be personified as that kind of Greek god type physique,
worthy to be
and worthy on the front cover, because everyone is then going to aspire to be that, and then you're epitomizing the man of today. Do you know what I mean?
And that's changed massively as well, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
They kind of, without going down that route, is demasculizing stuff as well and defeminizing stuff to a sense where your front cover models. If you look at them from when I was doing it to the guys now, there's a huge divide.
Yeah,
change it.
Massive.
Well, it would make sense, Jay, to put a man on Men's Health magazine, just so you know.
I know that, of course.
Just so you know.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying, I'm giving the comparison.
Tom was tapping me like,
how it was for women. I'm giving the comparison of how easy. I'm giving the comparison of how easy it was for women to get, into modeling and be a certain, image that younger girls wanted to be like, and it was harder for men to.
It very is. It's so much different for women. Definitely is.
I follow, like we were saying before, I follow Mike Thurston and Brandon Harding, and these guys have this image that are like makes you inspired to go into the gym and keep working at it because
that's you keep doing it. To buy a magazine where I used to train. My prep coach Eddie Abu used to compete at Limber and everything. Got a stack of magazines up to here, and all the old school front covers.
Wow,
love them. Absolutely love them, and that's why I used to buy magazines. I'd see who's on the front of it.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm buying that for that reason.
Yeah,
see how he trains. Like I'd aspire to look like that and be like that.
Exactly.
Whereas, I think nowadays it's just a bit. easy, innit?
It's so what baffles me, and me and James have spoken about this a couple of times. Like, you see all these like health, politicians or scientists or whatever, and it's like, I think where we will eventually head is like, you will be, someone like yourself will be like, hey guys, look, this is what you need to do. Look at the fucking shape I'm in. Okay, I eat like this, I train like this. Okay, if you don't want to be like me and you want to be a bit smaller, or you just want to pull muscle in, like there's one thing seeing you do it, but remember, people are seeing hard work, and not everyone knows how to do hard work. There's another thing with like more of like an educational thing where you're sitting there going, or someone's sitting there going, right guys, this is the science of like, this is how your brain works. This is the macros you need. You need this amount of protein if you want to just build muscle or this or that. I've just joined with an amazing company called Prep Kitchen, Shire Prep Kitchen. It's the same company that Eddie Hall uses, and the macros they use and everything are really.
All right.
You're the same company. Look at that! Amazing.
I thought you was about to drop that in, and I was like, I'm waiting for it.
Amazing. Well, there we go. So we're we're speaking the same language. Amazing. I mean, look, I'm not. I'm just retraining. But what I'm saying is, like, there's so much science and educational to actually change your body, become healthier, analyze and understand. And at the moment, people can just see you and go,
I think what the issue is now is there is a lot of science, but I think there's too much science where some people try and push on people. Like when I first started,
okay,
like the guys I started with, old school bodybuilders, these are the meals you want to eat. This is how you want to train. It's calories in versus calories out. And I love simplicity.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Whereas I look at a lot of my friends who are prep coaches as well and stuff, and I look at the way they break stuff down, and I'm like, that's even too much for me.
Overthinking. Okay.
Literally, it's just over the top. They want your bloods, they want your poo samples, they want your sleep pattern.
Right.
You got to go get one of their rings. I want to check you on that. I want to check in every day.
And you're saying actually just get in the gym and fucking work.
But for someone who's just starting out, like someone put a piece of paper like that, this is everything you got to do.
Yeah,
there you go.
You'll turn away, exactly.
It's just going with the big boy pros that look at that and go, well, I don't need to do that, or that. I just have to do that or that.
Yeah, it's just going back to basics. So I quite like the Classic Physique. It's just very simple. You just it's basic work, and it's just keep grinding. That's it.
Older physiques, like even the 90s, like the late 90s.
Yeah,
your Jay Cutler and
oh, it's amazing.
It's a really good point, and I've triggered something with the film industry when someone wants to sit down and learn loads. Of Jay wanted to do it when he first started the film industry. He wanted to I need to learn this, I need to learn that, and I said, look, just throw yourself into it. You're going to be working on a film. You'll pick them up as you go along. So that's a really good point, actually. I didn't think about that. I think that what I would say on that is we've got to kind of stop listening to the health politicians who are not in shape.
I mean, the trouble is,
and not if Boris Johnson come out and
the gurus,
just like
everyone's a guru,
should be eating it.
Yeah, it's like
Boris.
Yeah,
to you.
Yeah, to you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like because I think generally, would you agree that people want to be more healthier or more?
See, you got to tread water a little bit, and you got to be careful what you're saying that.
Because there's vegan now. There's just so many.
I eat bricks for a living. Brilliant. But obviously, not being funny. If you think you're going to go through life and never be offended by someone's opinion, then you're an idiot anyway.
Yeah.
So this is my opinion and my views. I don't reckon if you're obese and overweight, and I mean seriously obese and overweight, you're not happy. I guarantee it. Like saying it's not. I went up to 110 kg. I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
I was out of breath. I was sore. My legs were chafing.
Yeah.
There's hurdles. That's not fair.
You know what I mean? And from my height and my weight, I would be obese. Like you look at the scales, Tom's obese.
Yeah.
Because of my height and weight, I am.
And it limits you to what you can do in everyday life. Do you know, like you said, just going up the stairs or,
like going to a theme park with your family and your kids and that. So you can't come on. One of your kids can, the other one can't. But can't be nice, man. It's not a nice feeling.
We had a guest on recently. Oh, not recently. Last year. Called Ricky, and he would always talk about movement is medicine, and it's just doing the little things, even if you can't move much or you're sort of limited to your size, or
as long as you're doing
something, just getting out, taking a walk, doing that a bit every day, just to sort of have that consistency to allow your body to kind of change.
I'm in that sense where humans weren't designed just to sit and do nothing.
No, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I'm almost like, that's hence all like the Greek tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
like the image of God and that's my image of God. Like everyone's image of God is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you could give like the average normal person then like one piece of advice, I completely agree. I say this to my mum all the time. If you know, no one that's working out or, you know, moving around or going to the gym, they're very, very unlikely to be, you know, they're gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Hey, what bit of advice to like the normal person that's like,
It's always, I've always been told, like my granddad is always like, the less you do, the less you want to do. Simple, so stay active.
the less you do, the less you want to do.
Someone goes, let's go and do this.
Oh, fucking yeah.
How far are you? So the less you do, the less you want to do.
Right.
And then that'll then drag on to a week. And then you get into this run and this circle of just consistently wanting to do nothing.
Yeah.
And then your friends don't want to call you, don't want to do anything.
You don't want to go out.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, months down the line, you're putting all this weight, you're sitting there, you're not really active.
Yeah.
Can't get out of that mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So how do they get out of the
It's
mindset?
a vicious circle.
We have to be around people. We should be around people.
Yeah.
And that,
And how's kind of stopping it?
Your social media's not sociable. Yeah.
We went to Hans Zimmer a little while ago, me and the missus.
oh, did you?
Wow.
Incredible.
A live show. Yeah.
We're sitting there, we're watching it, and you just put his phones up.
Oh, yeah. Start taking it.
How do you balance the social life then? Because obviously, you know, you've got, you know, 1.6 million followers. How do you choose when to engage, interact? Do you switch off? You know, how do you put it into your
Used to be
schedule?
really on it. Like I did get to that point where I'm checking it all the time and looking at that. People would say stuff and it'd trigger me a little bit. Okay, I'll be like, fuck, I'm gonna back. Yeah, I come from a rugby background. I'm a builder. I'm a roofer from Essex. Like, just because I've got that on social media, I've done that, I've got this sponsor, doesn't mean I'm not going to give it back. So like,
Yeah, boy.
and I would say stuff a bit.
Yeah, boy. There's loads of people there. It's gonna be a riot. Tom, you pussy. And you're like,
But like, it got to a stage where like I was having full-on arguments with someone I'm never going to meet.
Yeah.
And like the missus is like, what are you doing? I'm like, nah.
We were talking about this before, where it's nice that you have a, you know, the gym was your side hustle. That being in competition was your side. Yeah, it's having a job outside that's your bread and butter, and that kind of makes you who you are. Do you know what I mean? And it's good to have other revenues of income.
Really, I think people are embarrassed nowadays to show what they've really got. And that's why I said to you, like, a job is a job, a car is a car, and a house is a house.
Yeah.
It don't really matter because people don't really care.
Yeah.
Today.
Exactly.
Like you can go from like how many times you've gone through and you've gone, that's a nice car. You go through again, you've totally forgot already that car when that person was stood next to.
Yeah.
You're looking at someone else already.
Yeah.
They don't really care what you've got.
Yeah.
They don't really.
No,
They're more interested about what they've got and what people think of them.
That's so true. We've said that before, that we all think everyone cares so much about it. He's one example. Yeah, I'm stitching you up. He's like, oh, I don't want this to go out. I don't want that to go out. Maybe I shouldn't say this, or maybe I should say that. I'm like, first of all, no one's watching you. And secondly, the majority of people don't actually care. They're not going to look at it and go, oh my God. It's like that thing you walk into a pub and you think everyone's watching you or looking at you. No one gives a shit.
Nah, so yeah,
It's kind of like that. And that's moving further, you know, stretching further because of social media, I think. I mean, there's a flip side to that. At the same time, if you're using social media and you are posting stuff and you are engaging, you kind of, that's the whole point, right? To engage and interact. And obviously, I suppose it's nice when people are saying good stuff. Yes, you can have that odd opinion. I've done it twice in my life. I've had two instances like that, and I'd never do it again because it's just like, I just wasted time. It wasn't even
that's exactly what it is now. Yeah.
wasting time.
Because then I'm like,
Someone,
and I've had this conversation before where it actually turns out a lot of the time they're getting, as weird as it is,
they're getting a kick out of it.
yeah, in a sexual way as well. And you're sort of like, and then when you get told,
Wait, Tom.
I'm
Where are
like,
we going here, boy?
these are getting turned on because I'm having a go.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know what I mean? There's so many, not weird people, but there's a lot of different people out there nowadays.
Yes.
And like, you know,
Yeah.
you might like doing that, you might like doing this, whatever.
You've probably got some of these stories, but a couple of friends of mine who are quite high profile have sent me like, Matt, look what I've just been sent. And mate, it's the most bizarre stuff. People offering money for weird stuff.
It's
And
and
it's
it's later that people take them up on that.
Yeah.
It's the fitness industry, right? There's another side to it. It's mental.
Yeah.
When you start mentioning certain names, like in the back of my head, I'm like, I got to stop about that person. I got to stop about that person. And it's the more you get into it. That's why I said, like at the very beginning when I first met Giles, I was like, look, I know it's a seedy industry with certain photographers. I only want to shoot this one guy. Happened to be Giles, which is wicked.
Yeah.
As the years went on, get sent different messages, and then I'd approach Giles and I'd go, look, this photographer's, and he's like, let me just show you some of his private work. You know, like that.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm doing that in a hotel with you.
Yeah.
Like, and then I see some of the people, and I'm like, I was having dinner with that guy the other night. I compete against that guy, and I'm like, wicked.
Have you seen Liam? What's the guy from Oasis, Liam Gallagher? Have you seen him talk about like why he's on social media and Twitter? Mate, it's hilarious. He's on like Graham Norton or something, and he's like, yeah, you've just been kicked off Twitter again, or you've had an argument. He said, yeah, mate, I'm just fucking. It's good, isn't it? He said, I'm just winding people up. He's got it just to wind people up.
Yeah.
The most liked tweet ever was Elon Musk saying, Coca-Cola. If I'm gonna do, I think it was like, if I'm gonna do this, Coca-Cola should put the cocaine back into. Cocaine should go. Coca-Cola should put cocaine back in the drink, and that's the most liked tweet ever. So it's like there is a fun side to that, and I think it's a bit but it's weird because you do get people who just want to engage for the sake of it, and you don't know, they might be trying to argue and then they're in the back, I'm speaking to Tom College. Do you mean? Yeah, it's like I used to meet everyone, like anyone that said they wanted to put money into a film, any investor, I'd meet you 11 o'clock in a hotel, I'd meet you 1 p.m. here, whatever, in London, and I clicked on, I thought, God, this person actually doesn't want to invest. They just see the sexy side of the industry, and they want to meet, and they want to just find out. They wanted to meet me or find out about the industry, and it's like, I've got to be clever with that, because they're never going to invest while they're doing this, sitting down and saying, oh, Matt, what's it like working with this person, or how the filming's so exciting. It's like, yeah, but that's not you. That's not why we're here. So it's really interesting. So what are you like now then? Because obviously social media is, and I'm slowly building and growing mine, so I'm kind of at the sort of still the sort of beginning of it. But in terms of, it is, it can be incredibly useful, especially with partnerships and making money and things like this podcast. I really like the idea of putting out stuff that, is not. Someone could go on tonight and watch a BBC documentary, right, on someone talking about health, or they could watch a slice of you now saying, do this, do that, and it's like
I
different form.
I don't really watch telly.
No, same.
I don't really watch news. I film on, or I watch podcasts.
Yeah,
because it's real people.
That's so good.
Shit, innit?
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
You're not limited to what you can say. You're not like, right, we were the BBC, so we can't mention this, and this.
Well, look what we're doing.
Well, you're with that, so you can't say this, and you just go, what?
Look what we're doing. We're breaking the mold of corporate, structured, scheduled broadcasting that's been existed for like 50, 60 years. So, the news starts, they go, right, okay, so you're talking about this, this, and this, and you've got 15 minutes, got an earpiece in, move them on. With this, it's, well, wait there, I've just got my opinion. And my opinion, or my, advice on this particular topic, take it as you.
Yeah, it's like Andrew Tate, how he's saying things controversially just to get a reaction out of people, and we're limited.
Jake loves Andrew Tate.
It's right. I've noticed. Right, so there's a huge divide of that as well.
I know.
I like what
you look a bit like that moment. That's what he looked like when he came out of prison. You do good. You look like.
I like the fact that all these people are coming forward, and there's such a divide.
Yeah.
It's night and day. It's like you're
so polarized.
Yeah.
It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it really is.
for someone to hate someone that much when they're just voicing their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you get them people a little bit in between, and they go, well, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
If you listen to
Exactly
what and say,
what he's actually saying,
kind of get what he's trying to say. And he might be saying it in the wrong manner.
Yeah.
But then you go,
oh, it's actually right.
actually,
Yeah.
right. If you break it all down, you go, he's not.
Well, the extreme things that he said, it's just an extreme. I mean, some of the things that we've just talked about now, I don't know all his stuff, but some of the things I do know, he said, no one walking around with a six-pack is unhappy. So they're just not.
But he would say something really controversial.
And he said the best time you have is with your friends or your boys. And he says things that like really just go, okay, he's right about that. But there is like, he is very polarizing, and also it's almost like more people seem to like him now as well while he's in prison, because they're feeling sorry for him. In a way,
it's that.
I've seen like people, that, I didn't like Andrew Tate before, but he shouldn't be locked up because it's, I like it against his human rights at the moment because they can't prove it.
I like a lot of people who don't expect him to like him.
Yeah.
And it's just like what I won't expect. Like my missus, she's like, no, I agree with a lot of stuff.
So how many shows have you done, Tom?
Well,
We lost count.
Not lost. I've not been that extreme person that does like 5 a year and stuff like that. I've always.
Is that what some people can do? 5 shows a year?
But some people are so desperate to get like a pro card and that recognition.
Okay.
And they just compete, and they kind of get stuck in that circuit. It is a vicious little circuit. Yeah. And it's strange because people then go, well, I need that.
So what's the motivation shows you've done?
Kai Green said to me, he goes, and that was when I'd done my last ever shot.
Oh, Kai Green, shit.
He went, does the trophy make the man or the man make the trophy? And he goes, when you figure that out, then you'll know. Yeah. And then
that's great.
And then it's funny, the year he stopped competing and Phil was back at Olympia, all the front covers of magazines were all Kai. And he's like, I'm not even at Olympia, I'm not competing. Yeah, look. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I did my last show and I was like, you know what, I don't need the trophies to tell me what I am and who I am. I don't need that.
Yeah.
But I think show-wise, I did. A lot of my shows were like to do qualifiers and stuff because the guy who was prepping me, Eddie Abu, back in the day, you had to be worthy to get a pro card. You didn't have shows going, we're giving out 9 pro cards this weekend. Well, how do you know if the stand's going to be good enough?
Yeah.
I mean, so you'd have to do a regional, you'd have to do the British, then you'd have to do a finals, and, you know, it'd get to a point where go, we're still not good enough to stand on the world stage against the pros.
Right.
You had to really grow. So
political as well.
The shows he put me in for were kind of like regimented in a way where, right, you're going to do this one, we'll say you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the time he'd ring me up and go like, do you feel like doing a show? It was never forced upon me to do it. Yeah. Like
it wasn't like giving.
I would wake up one day and it'd be like, you know, I want to start a prep now. Let's see what shows are around. Then I talk to Eddie and he, right, well, you got the PCA here. This is a qualifier for the finals. And then from there, if you win that, then you can do the British.
Yeah.
Got to win that to go on from there. So it'd be a good challenge to go boom, boom, boom. Like,
yeah.
The worst thing I ever did was I did a peak week into a peak week.
Because it's hard to maintain that physique at that duration of time.
So the peak week is obviously where you're dehydrating.
You're shredding the host, right?
This is why I drink water for a couple of days.
Even the training, like everything is just depleting the body. So I did that for a week. Then I did the Hampshire, which I ended up winning the overall. And then the week after was the British for the finals.
Wow.
And I was like, well, you got to do it. And I was like, I just want to eat something.
Yeah.
No, straight back into peak week.
Wow.
I was just like, I was feeling it big time.
I think it's quite unhealthy as well, isn't it?
Horrible. Yeah. Yeah, I was just not moody, tired. That's what people get it wrong. They go, oh, bodybuilders are so aggressive, so moody. So you're just drained. You're tired. You're physically and drained.
You're depleting everything.
When you're tired, you're not talkative. When you're tired, you're not engaging. It's like,
like people want to say stuff and you're just like, I can't feel it. Go away.
Go away.
And like you'd always get friends and family say the wrong stuff, and it would trigger you sometimes. Yeah. You're looking a lot smaller.
It's like one word. Yeah.
Use the word lean.
Yeah.
I did. So the first couple of local shows, I did 3 of them. Then I went on to WBFF, which was a big federation, and I did 3 of their shows. I went out to Vegas. It was my first time in America. Got an invite out to Vegas to compete as a fitness model. 74 guys. So this is where like the social media thing comes in as well. It all kind of, I'm a strong believer, things out for a reason. You meet people at the right time. So we went out to Vegas, and I went out there, Giles Crofton, the photographer. I was like, we'll get some epic shots out there. Like, I'm coming along. So he come along and that, supported me, watched the show and everything. 74 guys on stage, ended up winning it and getting my pro card.
Wow.
It was so surreal. The stage, the cameras watching, you could see yourself on the big screen, the whole American atmosphere.
Yeah.
Unreal, mate. I weren't expecting it at all. Like,
that's amazing. Sort of. Yeah, that's amazing.
Like, when you look at guys backstage, the trouble, this is the thing backstage as well, like, you know, birds walking by next to nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
And you're looking at guys. You're like, look at his hammies.
Yeah.
And so I'm checking people out backstage and I'm like, this guy looks good. And there was only a couple of us from the UK. I was out with Justin St. Paul one year and it was just like, we're looking at all these guys and we're like, we follow these guys on social media. We look up to these guys. And now we're there with them. And now we're with them. So now I won this show, turned pro, done a photo shoot on a balcony. It's one of the pictures that shot my social media through.
Really?
Bent over the balcony, fresh from the show, red trunks on, Vegas Street, and it's, wow, I'm peeled. And it just went viral for me with that. And
look at that later in bed.
Jacko
And you wonder why people, and you wonder why people question your like.
I've seen you something explicit version.
And there was a guy who was my screensaver at the time called Jacko de Bruyne, South African, mad physique.
Yeah.
He messaged Giles. Was like, who is this guy? And he's like, it's Tom Coleman. He's from the UK. Blah blah. So I got to meet him. I didn't know any of this. So one day in the UK, Giles was like, look, when you come to a shoot, we got a shoot.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm working. I'm still roofing. I still do roofing now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm working. I can't. He goes, in your best interest if you come to this photo shoot today. That's a bit weird. It might be a sponsor or something. It might be. So I went to Nottingham, and Jacko de Bruyne and Sergi Constance were there. Two guys who I like just admire.
Looked up to you.
And I was like, hi. And I was like, we're desperate to meet you, Tom. And I was like,
My similar way round. Yeah.
literally, we hit it off. Become friends ever since. Amazing. They helped guide me for the industry and that.
There's such a satisfaction, isn't there, in you know, aspiring to people you want to be like or work with, and then that day happens where you end up in front of them, and actually they admire you and look up to you as well. It's a really crazy, surreal feel.
Yeah. I know a lot of people say never meet your heroes and stuff like that. The people I've met along my journey have never ever disappointed. I've met Arnie twice.
Amazing.
I remember the first time. A load of guys were like, Tom, stay standing where you are. It was on a USM standing there. Stay standing where you are. And I was like, what's that? And they went, trust me, stay standing where you are. I was like, what's going on? I see this crowd coming through. People getting pushed. I'm like, what's going on? He's there. The aura of this guy comes straight up, shook me out and that. And I was just like, you're Arnie. I didn't know what to say.
Oh, dribbling.
Yeah, you like that. Yeah, I know I am, mate. And always. Yeah, it was
I love how you called him Arnie as well.
one of my worst pictures ever. Because
But just meeting you.
I flew out.
Right.
I was on a roof, digging up the flat roof and that, and my sugar levels dropped. I fell, smashed my head on the floor. Like ambulances and everything coming, everything, fire brigade over Basildon High Street, because I almost went off the edge. I've come around and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Connor's like, you literally just blacked out. Like you was on the floor, like having a fit. Anyway, so then flew out to America, and the picture I've got of Arnie, proper busted up, and I'm like, brilliant, looking like a great picture.
Yeah. What's interesting about what you were saying is that you weren't making your trophies the pinnacle of your being and
I think
your career. And it's interesting because we've heard stories about how Tyson Fury, for example, trying to go for all the accolades, the WBC title, and then he wins it and then crashes and then has this huge fall. You didn't use the trophies as that kind of peak to then be on the way down. You kind of like enjoyed the journey.
Yeah,
and
I think there's pros and cons to that. So I've always been like, right, next challenge. I've never sat back and appreciated the wins too much, like with front covers. Like my parents, they love it. Look what Tom's on, look what light it's. But I do it, the week later I'm focused on something else. So I don't really appreciate as much as I should.
It's taking those moments, yeah. But I think what you mentioned about, we talked about the traveling and stuff at the beginning. I think that's down to appreciating life and appreciating, I would say this, like how lucky we all are to wake up, breathe, be able to move and all. If you appreciate those small things, the big things that you're achieving that look huge to people, they're just part of your everyday life. And as long as you appreciate,
It ends up being that.
exactly, yeah. So there's a fine line between taking moments and going, oh my God, I've just been on the front cover, that's amazing. And then going, right, what's on to the next thing?
there's always this quote that's always stuck with me. I think it says, "Don't reward the result, reward the journey," or the journey, the reward, something like that. And that kind of sticks with me. And it's just, you've got to be present in the time and just enjoy the moment as you're going.
Has it stuck to me long enough to remember the quote?
Yeah, there's so many versions. No, there's so many versions of that quote. But like,
Yeah.
The whole process of anything, you've got to enjoy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
Building a table, whatever it's, you've got to enjoy the whole process, the entire journey.
I was saying the other day,
Appreciate the end result.
yes, for sure.
when you think of like how many countries there are, how many different people, and how long we're on the planet for, and how long we have to actually enjoy that. Let's say you get to travel and enjoy your life between 20 and 50, whatever. It's like no time at all. Like no time.
It's not, no, look at COVID thing. 2 years, that flew by.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean? Quick, wasted.
and you just went, woof, gone, game over.
I don't think a lot of people have taken that in consideration even.
No.
Not a lot of people realised how quick that went.
Yeah,
That was 2 years. That went by.
That's a lot. Big changes happen in 2 years.
10, 15 years. That flies by.
Yeah.
When you're younger, obviously it doesn't, does it? When you're a kid,
Yeah.
I feel like you're at school forever, didn't you?
Yeah.
School, can't wait to get out of school.
Yeah.
I wish I was back at school.
I know. Yeah. No, you wish that. How many shows have you won then in total?
Quite a few.
The fact that you can't, the fact that you're thinking that's crazy.
Yes, I sometimes
That's amazing.
hate talking about it
Yeah.
because it comes across a little bit big-headed and a bit like egotistical, doesn't it? Like I get a little bit. I'm not like that, so I'm kind of like,
You're not showing off.
yeah.
You don't want to show off.
I've never placed lower than third at any show.
Wow.
Every other show has been second or first.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Mate, don't. I was gonna say, don't worry about coming. You don't come across at all. For someone that's like, you know,
No.
no, but you've got your shit together. You look great. You know, you don't come across as arrogant at all. So don't worry about that. I think
Keen to know what your weaknesses are. Like, if you would say, like, if you had to go back to the drawing board and do things differently, what would you change to kind of improve on your weaknesses? Because only you would know. Do you know what I mean?
It's kind of I give myself a hard time with everything.
Okay.
I always building. I'm a nightmare because obviously I still do building that as well, and I will literally rip work up and do it again.
wow.
Like mainly because of the OCD as well.
Yeah.
I had OCD and that, but it's like I don't give myself enough praises.
Right.
Like, and even taking compliments, I'm a little bit like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably a weakness as well because sometimes, like you said, you have got to take it.
If you took it the other way, what would happen?
That's the issue. Like, would you then become that little person? That person is a bit like, I'm fucking nice.
Yeah.
I've done that. Yeah, like it's a thin line in it.
Yeah.
Arrogance and confidence.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's having that humility and also just being humble in having that praise, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't change anything what's led me to this point. People I've met, everyone I've met and done in my entire journey is all interlinked.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird. Like I said about when I was at school, obviously I did my A levels a year early. I've gone back to doing a bit of theatre and acting now, but it's even on stage, you're performing a play, a theme. Like my posing, I don't know if you see my posing now, it's quite theatrical. It's quite, quite like to perform that on stage. I don't get scared or nervous. I enjoy it doing that. So that's kind of from school to now, that's always been there. Then when I went to college, I did interior and exterior design and construction. That's what I do. And then obviously I started a fitness brand when I did fashion.
Nice.
As you do. And from that's come back around because from doing the competing, I started a clothing line. So everything's kind of interlinked.
It's crazy about realizing, without realizing it. And it's bizarre how those things can come around and come back to you and help you out as well.
And meeting people at certain times of your life.
Yeah.
Like it's like
really trajectory.
Jacko De Bruyne, like never in a million years where I thought he'd want to be a friend or I'd ever meet him. And at that point when I did meet him, it gave me that kick up the arse to then go, you know what?
This is something.
He appreciates me and my physique. I can get to his level. So I now want to do that show.
Yeah.
So then it kind of
propelled you forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What do you think? What's something that you maybe have got in the pipeline, or something you haven't that you go, right, I've got all these different skills and attributes now in these areas, and I want to set up this? Or is there any, like, because you seem the type of person that's, if you achieve something, you're not going to stop. You're going to keep going, and you're thriving off the you thrive off work.
I've got a list.
Right.
A list of stuff I want to do.
Right.
Companies, inventions, a lot. I've got so much. I started a company in lockdown, the Accent Fit.
Yeah.
I started that in lockdown. There's another 2 companies off the back of that I've started within the construction and building. I want to get back into the acting stuff as well. I've just applied for something else what's going to be on TV soon, which is obviously can't say again. Where obviously I'm still working full time all the time. Like, I'm not embarrassed to say that I'm a builder.
Yeah.
Learn a trade and a skill. You can travel the world, do whatever you want, and you'll always have that skill and you can take it with you.
Yeah.
When he first said that, I was like, it's not. He's like, now it all makes sense.
Mate, that's so
all these things and still go back and do.
Yeah, that's so humble. Even the fact that the way you're saying that. I mean, from the outset, you've got a huge fan base on social media. You've won all these shows. You look great. You've traveled the world, and you're like, and I'm a builder, and I love it. And it's like, most people, if you don't want me saying, most people probably wouldn't even admit that. It's like, it's crazy.
We would say, like, people are almost a little bit embarrassed in this day and age to admit they work.
Yeah.
They've got a real job.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not being, everyone's got bills to pay. I've
Yeah.
got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. But like, I generally enjoy doing what I do.
Yeah.
I love building.
I think that's really inspiring because there's a polarization between like, okay, someone's go, I got to do this to get really rich, or I got to do this to become super famous, for example. When looking at, obviously you don't know your life set day to day, but look at your life set in terms of what you just mentioned. But wait there, you've got almost the best of both in a weird way.
Kind of doing everything. It's kind of,
It's not about doing it. Yeah, it's not so much you're doing everything, but you could go online tomorrow and post a picture and it get stupid amount of views,
what it does.
and then
to work.
and then you're going off to work and lift it
Yeah.
and lift it. And do you mean it's like that's crazy? I've trained with a lot of boxers back home in Wales, and they're professional boxers, and some of them have the potential to be world champions. So I'm looking at them going, got like crazy potential, and they're like, yeah, I've just finished work, I've just been on the building site, or I've just been this, I've been that, and it's like,
I've noticed in bodybuilding is the guys who end up being like serious bodybuilders, incredible physiques, have kind of all come back from a working background. They've all
Right.
full-time jobs
okay,
in construction, or an actual. Ronnie Coleman was a police officer,
yeah,
and Terry was in the building trade. A lot of these guys have had that background where they know, what, I've got to work.
yeah,
Yeah.
they appreciate
That
it.
mindset and that focus.
And it becomes a hobby and something you enjoy at the same time. So it's healthy to have.
You can juggle it. Like a lot of people, I don't know how you can do that. You can't. You can.
Yeah,
Like, I'm a nightmare sometimes. I'm like, I ain't got time. You have. Everyone's got time.
Yeah.
It's how you.
yeah. I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day, a girl, and she said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm watching a film. I'm doing a bit of writing as well, and I'm updating my notes. And she was like, oh, she said something funny. She's like, oh, men can multitask. You're one of the men that can multitask or something. And I was just like, yeah, so I do that all the time. I was always updating stuff, always doing stuff. So I think it's always good to have your hand in quite a few different things, as long as you're focusing.
In this day and age, I think you need to have your fingers in a lot of pies.
100%.
And I find it funny when you see these TikToks and I only run up to a sports car and that. What do you do for a living, man?
Oh yeah.
Go wise out a window. I would love a window to come down one day and may go, I work my fucking ass off.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Doesn't matter what I do.
You
work
want
my
it, you
ass off.
work for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, that's how I've been brought up, in the sense that, like, if I've ever wanted something from my parents, and I go and work for it.
Yeah.
My first job I was 13. I was a porter, a bellboy at a hotel, running luggage to their room and that. That was my first job. And then when I was at college and that, I was in Sainsbury's behind the old deli counter,
Oh yeah.
carving up meat and that. And
I've worked in some strange places,
I've never hated any of my jobs. I've always enjoyed them.
but it's led you to this.
So you've got a real passion for work.
Yeah.
In general, like work ethic, and
if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
yeah, it's not like, okay, if I've got to do this crappy job, I'm not just going to do it for money. I'm going to actually put my effort into it and time into it. And obviously, if what you're doing as well, I think you're thriving off these different industries. You're going to go and lift a heavy chunk of bricks on one day, but you're also going to be creative in the evening.
It's mental though, because
You're playing both sides of your brain.
at work, I can kind of turn things into a workout when
Yeah.
right.
Well,
It's a weird.
Does it sap your energy?
Nah, because it's kind of like you see something and you go, it's a challenge. So like I'll be like, right,
Okay.
I've got to get all these towels up there by 12 o'clock. Let's go.
Right.
And I'm zoned in.
Yeah. And if I lift them in the right way, I'm actually getting a bit of work. Yeah.
It becomes it. And what's also a thing as well is obviously there's a lot of youngsters on site nowadays. I'm also like, everyone will lift more than you.
Making that fun makes time go by. Time go quicker.
Second you get stuck in with anything,
Yeah.
that's it. Boom, done.
You got more time to do something else. So, yeah.
Oh man, that's great. Thank you so much, man, for coming on. It's been great. It's been great
I'd love
talking
to
to
come
you.
back. We'll chat some more.
Yeah. And you seem like a real. You seem like a real man that just gets on with stuff and just doesn't like. Yeah, no, a real friend. No, but you just seem like. I know it sounds stupid to say that because it shouldn't be. It should just be the norm. But a real man that just gets on with stuff and you're enjoying it.
You say it should be the norm. It's such a strange society nowadays.
Yeah.
It's weird to see a man.
Yeah.
It's lost, yeah.
It's like we went out to Park Row, went to that Batman,
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and we were sat on a train. And I'm not being judgmental or anything, like each to their own, I really couldn't care less. But I was sitting there and I was looking up and down the train and I was like, I'm the only man.
I'm on it.
Like, yeah, like, I can clearly see that I go to the gym. I'm a builder. I'm, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little bit scruffy, whatever. Like, but everyone else is a little bit too like cared about what they was wearing and even how they was sitting. And other people were looking at them. Just sit down. I'm like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that picture that everyone started posting recently, where it's like, you know, monkey, caveman, man, and then it's a picture of Sam Smith, and it's the guy in that outfit, and it's the guy turning back and saying, it says, "Turn around, we fucked up."
Yeah.
And it's like there's something quite like meaningful in that, and like, wow, okay, where we go?
That's quite a powerful message.
Yeah. It's quite
Do you
interesting.
see that now another 5 years?
What's going to happen? Yeah.
All these people who
There's a lot of topics that we could go into here because and it could be
upsets.
you can so many things. Exactly.
We'll save it. We'll save it. We'll save it.
We'll save that for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Upset to the.
But it's cool that you want to get into acting, and you know, we're obviously in the industry, so you know we've got a whole list of people that we want to work.
Well, man, the people we're meeting through this podcast and working with, and even finding out, I've sat down with like people for 2 hours and then not find out later, oh, they're interested in acting, all this and that. It's such a good experience for us to meet these people. You know, we've been up and trained with Eddie Hall, and Martin's become a good friend, and you know, quite a few of the
The
boxers.
thing is one of them things. It's in platforms where you kind of start sieving through the shit almost.
Yeah.
The real and people.
Yeah.
You get people who then turn around because some people will look at you and they go, oh, I'm not going to waste my time now.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
want to chat. Everyone should get along.
Do you know what the people?
But it's what people think they're going to get out of it.
People that are saying yes to coming on are the people that have done just a tiny bit on us and gone, oh yeah, they look like nice guys. We'll go and chat with them. We've had small guests. I've reached out to small guests, and they've gone, oh no, you're not the right demographic, or you're not this. And I'm like, you're tiny. Sorry, like you're just someone that we want to chat on for a different conversation.
People they're here.
Yeah.
In fact, they're really.
Everyone's human. Everyone's normal. You know, and it's like it's
And
crazy.
it's just the beauty of just having a conversation, and it's touching on those topics that people want to hear, and
People are scared, aren't they?
they're afraid.
Scared to say something just in case they get that backlash of it is what it is.
There we go, Joe.
These are good advice.
I mean, I use that.
All right, amazing. Tom Coleman, thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure. Tom Coleman on the bag. Woo! There we go. Yes.
Yeah, baby.
I can live with that.